Welcome back to another Alliance War video. We have 4 Loki versus Iso8A. They banned Future Ant-Man, Ghost, and Kingpin. Nimrod and Idum are globally banned, but Herc and Torch are not. And we are going into this war 5-5 on the season. One more win will lock in Masters for us, so hopefully we do well. I'm going to be bringing in Chavez, White Magneto, and Shuri for today's war. And I've got some fights that when we started doing the assignments, Andrew's going to be taking a sassy boss, and he's going to try to beat my time of 60 seconds of the one I did a few wars ago. We'll see how that goes for him. So I was not on Hulk duty, but there was some fights that I've taken before, lots of times and done well. Recently died to, and some other fights that I had to do. So I have this team, and the plan is to take this Wong on path 5, then this Mantis, which is kind of tricky, and then that Zemo, which I died previously to, but I've taken lots of times before, so I have nerves going into that, but I should do okay. And then I have this Kate with the White Magneto pre-fight, and Shuri being global should be fine. I have a specific strategy for this Quicksilver, because on that note, it gets kind of dicey. And then this Adam Warlock, which I just hate his mechanics because there's no real mystic that counters him straight off the bat. I'm just checking to see their ranks. And then I'm gonna take this Atuma, which I took a few wars ago, but I have a much better strategy for that fight for this war. So the plan is to drop a White Magneto pre-fight on this Wong. I could have waited until the section 2 was open and then cleared, and then the No 19 kitty was open, so I could just do all my fights at once. But I was just dueling. I was dueling this Wong, Mantis, Zemo, Quicksilver, Warlock, and Atuma, and I was just like, man, I just need to cut my duel. Like, I need to get these 2 fights over with so I can just focus on these other duels. So this one's pretty straightforward. Of course, he starts with the heavy, so he power gains, but okay. So I want to drop 2 heavies right off the bat, and that's going to help in case he does throw another heavy and power gains. It's going to reverse that. So I just want to keep 2 negative zones up, and here just, you know, get some other zones up, and just kind of bait SB1s or SB2s, SB1s ideally, because I don't have to take it on the block. And then I'm going to watch his Eldritch charges. The main thing that I have to remember is that I'm going to be fighting Zemo with her next, as far as my next America Chavez fight. So I don't want to kill him when he's over a bar of power. So right here, he goes unstoppable. He has a blue spell up because I have a dex buff on, and he's at 100 charges, so I heavy to get rid of it. And at this point, I'm like, okay, I need to knock him down before I throw my special 2. And but I want him to dump his so I hit him right there, and I throw this, and after this he's gonna throw his special, and I want him to just, you know, I'm baiting this out. I'm gonna take this on the block, and I'm like, all right, perfect. But I have to knock him down to do some damage, unfortunately. So I'm gonna push him over a bar, which is fine. I just need to, right there, hit him once, and I'm like, wait, don't kill him yet. I need to bait the special 1. I remember last minute, so I'm like, okay, perfect, throws SB2, and boom, dead. So I took some chip damage there, but ultimately the goal was to kill Wong without a bar of power, so I don't get that crossfight on me. Now this Mantis is just, I don't have a permanent armor up, so she's going to be gaining power, you know, at the start of the fight, and I have to heavy her. And I'm not using a White Magneto pre-fight, but the Tranquilize that Mantis places, it lowers your ability accuracy to place a debuff on Mantis. Shuri is immune to ability accuracy modification, so she can parry her at will. It's perfectly fine. But I do need my armor up. So the plan here basically is to try to, I did a bunch of duels and try to control the spacing to where she's not throwing her special 1. But right here, I noticed that she already has 1 bar or 1 prowess, so she's going to be gaining. So I throw a heavy to get my armor up, and then I throw this special 1. In my duels, I told myself, just make sure you keep a special at all times in case she does that, which is throw a special 1 randomly. So now I need to build up to a bar. And there I parry, but she has a cleanse, so she cleanses it, and she hits me, and I have an indestructible boost. But right here, I'm like, okay. I was doing duels and timing how long my special ones would be, and I clear out that encroaching or her little sleep timer thing, and I push her to an SB2, and I'm like, all right, perfect. Now we're cooking right here. And I just need to make sure that I throw this special parry her right here, heavy, and I'm like, all right, she comes at me. No, if I can get another parry to stick right here, that'd be ideal. And she's just melting away. I throw the special one to get another armor up, but she's basically going to die off there. So, you know, that fight for Mantis actually it does get kind of a sketch, because you want to push her to an SB2 naturally, and you want to bait heavies, but that node is heavy unstoppable. So ultimately it went okay. Now the Zemo fight, the plan here basically is to get 2 negative zones up, and that way if I happen to dex and power snack triggers, it reverses the power gain, and if I happen to crit, then it reverses his power gain from the prowess that he gets. Now I want to keep in mind of the power stings, and I also want to keep in mind that the more negative zones that I throw, the less duration they have. So if I throw too many, the newest zones will last a smaller amount of time. So at the beginning, I'm actually okay if I don't land that parry just to bait a heavy, because the block damage at the beginning before he has his disorient on you is not that bad. So at this point, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna throw this heavy and then bait this special one, and I'm gonna wait for this power sting to go. I throw my special one to get another zone up, and I'm like, all right, perfect. I land that parry, and same thing. He's not over a bar, so I have no more stings on me, and I'm like, all right, perfect. This is good. We're reversing. You see that power gain that got reversed, and I take some chip damage there. I want to throw my special 2 while he's under 2 bars, so I do it right here, and boom, it almost ends the fight. I need him to throw this, and he does, and it's unblockable because of the amount of prowess that he's getting, but ultimately the fight is over in under a minute. So that went rather well. That fight does get sketch with Zemo there, and what he does to the block. So next up I have this Kate Bishop. She's global with Kate and a white Magneto. Basically she can't shrug the parry stun, so you can parry heavy like normal and just attack her. But I end up missing a parry or something in this fight, I think, and I get clipped, but it's fine. I just want to parry heavy and get an armor up, so I remove the initial prowess that she has, and I'm not going to land any crits outside of my special one after I throw my special one, but I'll have an armor up, so completely safe. So I throw my heavy there, and then I miss this parry, but I have that indestructible still from the previous fight. So I remove that prowess, and all I want to do at this point is bait special ones from her. So I was going to try to get to over 10 shocks, because then that will give me more matrix charges. But ultimately, she just melts. So I'm just like, you know what? Just keep spamming the special one and bait the special ones, and I'm perfectly fine. I think I threw that to get another armor up. I just take this on the block. Now this fight's gonna go down. So the next fight I have Quicksilver, and the node on Quicksilver is the node where you get a disorient on a parry, which will lower your ability accuracy. Shuri is immune to that, and it will also lower your block proficiency, which is not what you want, because you're going to be taking a lot of blocked hits versus Quicksilver. And it also has a node that if you block a special, each hit of that you block will give him a prowess, and once he's over a certain amount of prowess, then he goes unblockable with that special, which is not what you want. So as I was dueling, I was like, you know what? All I need to do is let him hit into my block and build my matrix charges, and then get my shocks over 10 after I throw my special one. I got lucky here because I ate that heavy, but stand your ground, shout out. And so I'm looking right here for him to actually throw combos into my block to build more matrix charges, so when I hit him, see how I land those shocks. And I don't care about the whiplash that he does. So right here I'm like, okay, give me a few more, and I'm not going to come at him because I don't want to dash at him and accidentally intercept him because he's going to evade me. But right here I throw this when he's at 12 shocks, and now I have 12 passive precision. So if I happen to like accidentally, like right there, I intercepted him, it's a guaranteed crit and he can't evade that. So at this point, I'm like, okay, perfect. So now I'm just going to spam special ones. I'm going to shorten my combo if I can, just to get more hits before I push him red. And the plan is to push him red. And then tank the special, and then he dumps his power. And then I have a full bar after my indestructible to basically kill him. But he's at 7% with this strategy. He can't, she basically shuts down a lot of his abilities after, and I'm at 95%. So I'm going to come out of this, and this only works if he's not in terminal velocity, because then if he is, then you're stunned after, and then he goes at you. So perfectly fine right here. I'm just going to bait a heavy, and then one hit, and it kills him. So that went rather smoothly. I was worried about this fight initially, and after my duels, I was like, I kind of calmed down. This fight's Adam Warlock on Ebb and Flow Intercept and Mighty Charge. And with Adam Warlock, you know, if he hits you with too many lights, he gets an unblockable. He has a natural power gain, so even when you want to like bait specials, he's gaining more and more power. You throw specials into your block, then he's going to go unblockable. So I don't want to miss that parry, but I land the second one and I throw a heavy. I have a White Magneto pre-fight to help me out with Mighty Charge, and I want to land the second one. Now I'm reversing his power gain. I have 2 negative zones up, so his natural power gain is being reversed. I throw a third, and I'm like, okay, I need to bait this. I have plenty of time to bait this. And right there, I was like, whoa, I dexed it, but I paused in my head. I'm like, well, what did I do that? It just seemed a little weird in game, but ultimately it didn't matter. I get a quick intercept, and then we're cooking. And he has that sovereignty buff, but I have a White Magneto pre-fight, which lets me still parry him, which is clutch. So at this point, I'm like, okay, I need to get a negative zone up to control his power gain. He throws this, and then I partially dex it. I go in, and then I come back, and I want him to get another hit, like right there. I want that buff because I had the intercept. She gets more damage when the opponent has more buff and you have more dimensions up. So he was at 19 on his counter. I figured if I parry one more time, he would get the buff and just add more damage to basically kill him sooner, because I wanted to get the heck out of that fight. That fight went absolutely great. Shout out to Andrew. Him and I were talking about how Adam works, because I don't have him, because I don't have that crazy featured luck like him. I don't even have him as a 6-star, so it's just kind of frustrating when you don't play a champion, you don't really know him. But he helped me out with some questions I had. So next up, I have this Atuma, which I've taken before with a Power Start 1. Now for this fight, I'm using I didn't want the Power Start 1. I wanted an invulnerability boost just in case I happen to push him or eat a special or something. But the plan, basically, I have a White Magneto pre-fight, is to parry heavy and just play his vigilance. If I can parry and then land those shocks, basically, then I'm good. I get more matrix charges when I parry. So you see what I'm doing here. And at this point, I want a heavy to knock him down, and he throws this, and I'm like, all right, perfect. I'm doing pretty good. I should have hit him one more time to get another shock on him, but I messed that up. But ultimately, it's fine. He's getting very special friendly, which is exactly what I want right here. And Shuri has great block proficiency with her armors and stuff. So here at this point, I'm like, okay, I just gotta make sure that when I push him over, he gets that vigilance, and I knock him down, and she gets those crits. And once she gets cooking, then it's, you know, then she really starts rolling, because those critical shocks are doing about 1.8k a tick, which is just melting him. And I don't even care that you push him to an SP2, because all the shocks that I have are removing his hydration charges anyways. And here, I'm just going to parry and wait out this falter, which is also giving me more matrix charges, which is ultimately going to give me more shocks, and he's dead. So that went rather well. That was my war, and Andrew's going to be taking that mango and that boss, and he's trying to beat 60 seconds, but ultimately he wasn't too happy. Apparently the Sassy was not playing too nice, and he did it in a minute 15. So, you know, you need some good AI for it to go well. But a minute 15 for a million K health pool, that's still pretty awesome. Unfortunately, we did lose this war 9-10. So that sucks. We're 5-6 in the season. We need one more win to close out and be locked into Masters. Shout out to Karate Mike, Mastermind, and I got one too for the MVPs. And we'll see how the season ends for us. And I will see you guys in the next one.